Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to Fiesta 2021. Right. Of course, myself and Dr. Rajeev is the opening batsman for this Fiesta 21. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Sangamitra for giving me this opportunity because she is actually the BOON or the person behind this whole show. Right. Swan was telling about the use of artificial intelligence by Google, right, WhatsApp. But what is that to do with health? This actually is a hot topic in healthcare, sparkling ongoing debates about the ethical, clinical, and financial pros and cons of the region and algorithm for the patient care. This idea that the artificial intelligence will replace human work has been around for a long time. To talk on this, we have Dr. RAJEEV JAYADEVVAN. Probably many of you will be knowing because his face is familiar to you in debates in TV, evening talks. He had his undergraduates and postgraduates from CMC. He's at present working as a senior gastroenterologist at Sunrise Hospital. He involves in a lot of active debates and talk in various, especially healthcare. Yes, Dr. Rajeev, the platform is yours. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Coming to medicine, artificial is being used in tumor detection in radiology. Tumor detection can be radiology. Because we had to write C prompt dot backslash and all that. And I used to get it wrong all the time, and it will say bad command of file name. So we've come a long way since then. Now we can speak to computers in natural language, and that's a monumental achievement. See, to speak in natural language, it can be very challenging. So let's just use a Malayalam language, for example. See, we may be joking with our friends, say, I'll kill you. See, the computer does not know that you're joking. Computer has no sense of humor. So the computer will interpret this. RAJEEV JAYADEVVAN is intending to kill the next person. All right. But so, which is why language is not always a literal process. Language is often taken in context, and there's a lot of cultural variation in that. Even in Malayalam, there's a lot of cultural variation. In English, we say, get out of here. Okay, get out of here does not necessarily mean get out of the room. It simply means pada. So things like that. So the computer has to understand all these fine nuances of natural language processing and also understand all these thick accents that many people have. The hospital that I trained in New York City we had residents, that is postgraduate students from 21 countries, each of whom spoke with a different accent. So imagine a computer having to process all of that. So if this is a phone and I use Siri, and imagine the natural language processing. Coming to medicine, there is pathology. See, this is a lung cancer detection slide. The AI is being used as an adjuvant to assist the detection of tumor cells and other findings in pathology. Now, becoming technical here, if you see on the screen, there are three forms of AI. For the most part, what you and I deal with every day is just ANN, or artificial narrow intelligence. Now, that is a pretty dumb form of intelligence. You can train a computer to work with chess. The computer will be very good at chess, but if you ask a computer, show the computer an apple and say, what is this? The computer will have no idea. All right. So the computer, if you ask the computer, how are you? The computer will have no idea. So that's called a dumb computer, but it is super intelligent for one purpose. All right. So that is called ANN. Most of the so-called AIs we use are ANNs, or artificial narrow intelligence. And then Next upgrade is called artificial general intelligence. And those things are seen in the movies. If you've seen the spacecraft movies, you see a supercomputer sitting and talking and handling the aircraft and talking with the actors and also handling things. It can multitask. So that is artificial general intelligence. That's just, it requires a lot more machine power and processing power and so on. What is the scariest part of AI is on the right. It's called ASN, or artificial super intelligence. And now that is really scary. Super means above man, above man's thinking capacity. Now, such a thing has not been built. Don't worry about it. But this is a possibility. We may be getting there at some point in the future. This is not now. So I would like everyone to understand the so-called AI is not going to, kill all of mankind tomorrow, just like the movies say. All right. So what we deal with is very focused AI. So, so when we talk about artificial narrow intelligence, so we see, as I said, you can program a computer into a narrow task. All right. So it's a narrowly or precisely designed algorithm, and which is very good at the task. For example, if you want this computer to be very good at detecting cats, all right, so you want this computer to be very good at finding out what kind of cats there are. There are so many different kinds of cats. So you feed the computer with thousands of images of cats, of different kinds of cats. You give the computer a lot of description. So eventually when the computer sees a rabbit, there is something called machine learning, and then the sound very old, but explain it with a simple example. See, suppose you go to the suppose your mother tells you, okay, you go to the shop and get me some mangoes. All right. So you don't want to go and you want to send your artificial intelligence robot. So you tell your intelligent robot, say, look, my mother wants mangoes. You go to the store, it's in the corner, and buy me some mangoes. So the robot goes to the store because you're too lazy, right? You're sitting at home, the robot goes to the store. Robot sees a fruit shop, but grapes, all programmed to detect a mango from each of these. So the robot has to be smart enough to pick up a mango from that. So for that, you need to have programmed the robot with a lot of fruit images and say, look, this is what a mango looks like. And the robot also should know there are so many different types of mangoes. Some are very large and some are small, some are long, and so on. So the robot has to know exactly how to pick up a mango. And then that is called machine learning. But your mother likes, let's just say a mother likes Malgova mango. Now the robot has to not only find a mango, it also needs to figure out among the mangoes, is it a Malgova mango or a Prior mango? So that is called deep learning. So for deep learning, you need to have much more circuitry built in, which is almost like the human brain circuit. Is made of networks. When we put similar networks into a computer, that is called deep learning. So I used artificial intelligence, simply says a machine that is intelligent. And machine learning is like I send my robot and say, can you differentiate a mango from apple? That is machine learning. And if I program the machine specific type of mangoes and it's mother. So the mother will think I gave the mango to mother. So that's great. So that is called deep learning. All right. So I just use it as an example. Without an example, it's very difficult to remember these terms. Properly to ask them parenda, nalenda, etra paisai, evada address, etra nalai, enta vandada. If I start writing all of that in a computer or in a chart, I'll be using precious time. See, I did not go through 18 years of medical training to write down somebody's name and all of that. My power is in analysis and decision making based on information that's already provided. You give me good information, I'll give you a good decision. The same with you. All of us are qualified doctors or doctors in training. Our brains are super brains. We have so much of information. Nobody trains so hard as a doctor does. It's so much information we have. But when we are reduced to writing silly notes and redundant forms and so on. We can have somebody else do it for us. See, I asked my nurse who sits outside and collects all the basic information for me. So when the patient comes into my room, I'm armed with basic information. I can go straight to the problem. So that is efficient use of time. That's what I'm trying to say. We can use AI to help us become more efficient. It is not going to replace us. See this picture? All these are created by AI. Let's just say, suppose say given fake and circulate it, and it may seem like the real thing. So that's called deep fake. So this is actually coming up, and AI can provide a lot of assistance. All right, I'll tell you my personal dream with AI. All right, I want AI to bring this man back on screen. All right, I love this man, but I want him like the 30-year-old man on screen here. I want to see him as the young Amitabh in a new movie. I want to hear the Yeshudas of the 80s, and I want to hear music like Salil Chowdhury, my favorite music director. You can ask a AI program to be like Salil Chowdhury. You can ask AI to write the song and ask the artificial Salil Chowdhury to tune the song and have the Yeshudas of the 80s sing it. These are all possible during our lifetime. All right. So you remember the song Mala Tulli Tulli Nirthamadidum? Now that's got a history. Salilta did not tune that song. Shyam tuned that song because Shyam worked with Salilta and made it called Style. Unimugan movie. In fact, Karthik sings that song, Mala Tulli Tulli Nirthamadidum. That's again an example of AI, Salilta's music being recreated through Shyam. This is a picture of Professor A.M. Chire. These are my personal dreams. I'll also circulate my own article, which is basically Google versus doctor. In the interest of time, I'll skip that section. So in my final slide, I'll say this because we are reaching time.